So we are going to introduce ourselves all over again because you two people wanna know who we are actually. So going live on YouTube, I will reshare the questions just a minute, Pauline. Great. Going live on YouTube. Going live. Loading. Okay, I think we can start out. So, Baudin has just arrived. Baudin, can you introduce yourself? Who are you?
Well, my name is Valdemir. Sorry, just a little bit. My name is Valdemir, and I'm 52 years old. I've been studying English for a long time in my life by myself. In the last 3 years, I went to a school in Campinas, but I currently live in south of Minas, of course, with my family. And I work as an airline pilot, and I work for Azul. And right now I'm staying in Recife in a hotel just to participate in the conversation.
Man, you work at Azul?
Yeah. Yes, I've been working for Azul since 2011.
How cool is that? Like you care, I don't know, you care the pandas, but do you take care of the pandas, this kind of stuff? Do you feed them?
Sorry, about Azul. Azul, it's a airline company.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was the animals one.
No. Sorry, maybe.
Can you type it?
My pronounce is not nice. Maybe.
No problem. Can you type it? I'm so sorry, man. I thought you really worked at a zoo, like the animal stuff. But
okay, no problem. Don't worry.
You see, I'm not the only one. So, tell me, Valdemir, how long have you been attending Tintin meetings?
Here in TNT, when I have time, maybe 3 months, or I'm not sure about it. Okay, yeah, but not every week, because my schedule it's a little crazy, and sometimes when I have time, I came here just to participate with everybody.
I see. So let me ask, Valdemir, you are famous. Did you know that?
I'm famous?
Yes, you are. Because I have seen you on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
many times.
Oh my gosh, man.
So, thank you so much for attending.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
I'm sharing the questions right here. Here we go. Great. Guys, as I said before, you guys got to introduce yourselves all over again. So, please go on, Rafael. Reintroduce yourself.
So hello again. My name is Rafael. I'm 28 years old. I live in Santa Catarina. And I'm improving my English to make an interview in English because I want to be a flight attendant or work in a cruise ship.
Okay, cool. Flight attendant. How cool is that? Great. Thank you, Rafael. How about you, Caroline? Who are you?
I'm Caroline. I'm 26. And I live in São Paulo. I work as a developer, and I have been studying English almost 3 years. And I'm here because I need talking, practicing my conversation skills, and yeah, that's it.
Great. And hello, you two people. It's Caroline's first time here on TNT. That's awesome. So before getting started, let me make kind of a merchandising here. Let me say in Portuguese. Gente, eu acabei de compartilhar um link aqui, que é do site do TALKNTALK. O TNT, os encontros em vários idiomas do TNT, eles são gratuitos. Mas, se você busca melhorar o seu inglês, por exemplo, no ramo do trabalho, para você ir uma entrevista, etc., a gente tem uns planos bem legais para você melhorar isso com aulas individuais, não tem nada a ver com o YouTube, e etc. Se você se acha principiante no inglês e também quer melhorar o seu inglês nesses aspectos, você também pode checar lá o TALKNTALK. o site do Talk and Talk e buscar o melhor plano para você, tá? So, já compartilhei aqui, and let's speak in English. I got to introduce myself now. So, I'm Melissa. I'm 19 years old. I'm based in São Paulo, and I'm a hostess here on TNT for about 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, something like that, something about that. I'm trying to get into a psychology college, and that's basically it. I love being here on TNT. I love hosting meetings because we do learn a lot in English and also cultural aspects. So this is an amazing place to share ideas and to talk in many, many languages. So this morning, as I said before, we're going to talk about workplace. I want to know if your workplace sucks, if you like what are you doing, and what are you doing for a living, or maybe you want to change jobs, something, things about this topic. Okay, so we won't be able to answer all of these questions, so you can copy them, and afterwards, you can answer those questions and talk to yourself. You can practice more. Here we go. So the second question, it goes like, is it really possible? Ooh, I gotta say something. So guys, the first 9 questions, they are not mine, okay? Caio is about to become a host. And Caio created the first 9 questions. So from 10 to 16, these are mine. Just making it clear. Okay, so number 2. Is it really possible to split personal life from professional life in work? And then, Valdemir, what are your thoughts on these questions?
Let me see, Melissa. It's really possible to split personal life from professional life and work. Can you explain better about split personal life?
Yeah, for example, when I'm talking, for example, but it's real. When I'm talking about myself, I just can't split my personal life from my work. You know, I work as an English teacher for beginners and children. So when I'm talking about myself, I'm gonna always talk about my work, my problems at work. I can't split my personal life. Does it make sense?
Okay, understood.
Great.
I think it's necessary you control, you have a balance, about your professional life and about your personal life. It's not so good. Maybe when you stay in, maybe you share your life with your professional life, and maybe it's not so good during the working time, for example. I'm not sure, but I think it's necessary you separate the personal life from professional life. Okay.
I do agree with you, but I just can't. I don't know you guys, but I can't split my personal life from work. I just can't. I'm always stressed about work, and you're totally right, Valdemir. I agree with you. Like you said, that there must be a balance. I'm struggling to find this balance in my personal life and work. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Rafael? Do you agree with both?
I think it's not possible because most of time when you start a job, like your problems at house, you bring to your job. It's really hard to separate this, but like Valdemir said, it's really important to try to separate it, but it's really hard.
Yeah, that's totally true. Like when it comes to personal issues, like things that's going on at your household, as you said, Rafael, it's pretty difficult to keep it away from our workplace. And to be honest, guys, I don't know you, but I have cried many, many times at my work because of things that's going on. You can laugh, no problem. You can laugh because of many situations that was going on at my household. So in reality, it's pretty, pretty difficult. I'm with you, Rafael. How about you, Caroline? Do you agree with us?
Yeah, I agree. It's really hard to do it, but it's not impossible. I think sometimes you can control it and separate both. Like I don't like to talk about my work when I have a conversation with someone new or my friends, because sometimes it's a very topic to talk. But there's no problem to talk about it. And that's my work. I have a few friends that I can talk about my personal life, but not at work. The time that we are working, of course, is when you are free of work. But it's not with everybody, just a few people. I think it's not good to talk about your personal life with everybody at work, just a few people that you trust. But yeah, it's hard sometimes when something really, really serious are happening in your life, at work or personal life. So sometimes it's really hard, but it's not impossible.
That's right. I'm totally with you. And talking about our relationships at work, at the end of the day, they are only colleagues, right? We can just, I don't know, maybe we can just keep small talks at workplace. As Caroline said, it's not that necessary to talk, to share our personal issues to people who we work with. Okay, good to know, guys. Good to know. Moving on. So the third question, it's an interesting one. Just remind you guys that the first 9 questions, it was created, Caio created this, created. So the third one, is it possible to work and earn just doing what we really like to do? Okay, so is it possible to work and earn just doing what we really like to do? So is it possible to make a living out of things we love doing? So to my mind, there's a cliche answer, which is no. I don't know, maybe what we like, what we enjoy doing. It's just we can't make a living out of it, it's not profitable. We can make a living out of the things we do like. For example, I love instruments and I'm trying to learn to play harmonica. And I can't imagine myself like making a living out of harmonica and these kind of stuff. That's my personal opinion. How about you, Rafael? Do you think differently?
I think it's possible, but you need to pay attention, like improve your self-knowledge all the time. And I don't believe in a dream job, like just the I mean, I think it's not possible. It doesn't exist a dream job. But if you work in your self knowledge, you can work something, doing something your duties is the mainly like, and just make it maybe the less the work is hard. Most of time is good. So I think it's possible.
Alrighty, so listening to you, Rafael, I think I was too harsh on my answer, too categoric. I mean, I think that most of the time, like, we can't make a living out of things we like. I think it's too challenging. I will put it like that. It's too challenging. And as you said, you're totally correct. I mean, I totally agree with you that we must work on our self-knowledge so that we know what we enjoy doing. And maybe the things that we like doing, we can kind of make a living out of them. I'm so with you. When it comes to work and job, self-knowledge, they must walk together, you know? They must walk alone. How about you, Caroline? Do you disagree with Rafael?
Yeah, I believe you can do what you like to do to earn money, but work is an obligation if you are not a rich child. So you must work for a living. And even though you like your work, sometimes it's not that fun because it's obligation. You need to do it, and sometimes at work you have stressful days, and it's normal. So at the same time, it's fun to do what you like. It's boring too.
Yeah, like I would say that there are pros and cons, even though we're working with things that we enjoy doing, as I said. I'm changing my mind, like listening, hearing it from you. I'm starting to think that I was too categorical. So there are pros and cons. Maybe we can find a dream job and still struggle with the same things. Because as I said, there are pros and cons in every kind of job, to my mind, at least. How about you, Bowden? Is there a dream job? Are there dream jobs?
Well, in this, in my point of view, I think is it possible to choose? It's necessary you choose a right job for you. What you really like to do. You know, the first part, in my opinion, that's it. Of course, we have pros and cons, pros and cons. How can I say it? Pros and cons about a lot of jobs, of course. But if you choose the right profession for you, what you really like to do, doesn't matter what the kind of job you choose for you. I think you will do the best one, and you feel comfortable all the time. Of course, sometimes you face some problems because it's not perfect. The life is not perfect. Like happens days every day, you know. But I think is it possible? If you choose the right profession, you enjoy your job all the time. I think. Just in my case, for example, of course I have a lot of problems. I stay out of my home. I can't see my children grow up, for example. But I like a lot about my job. Yeah, that's it.
So, how can we kind of find out this right job for us? Is there a single answer?
No, it's not
Formula,
easy. I
equation?
think it's not easy to choose a right profession. It's necessary you really like to do what you like to do, you know. Like you, for example, you said that you really like to learn about some instruments. And if you do it in the best way, maybe you gain a lot of money with these, you know. I think is it possible for all the professions? Of course, if you just choose the profession by money, it's not so good for you, I think. That's my opinion.
Great, great. How optimistic, I'd
Yeah.
say. Thanks for sharing.
Okay.
So, Caroline or Rafael, would you like to comment on about the phrases and opinions or not? Would you like to share? Go on, Rafael.
I totally agree with Valdemir. I think it's possible. It's really possible, but the way to choose the right job is I don't know the word através. Adult. Someone knows the word através in English? Adult. Self-knowledge. When you know about yourself, you can choose the right job. So maybe therapy, maybe doing something like that.
That's totally it. Therapy. Like, we can reach out to therapy for many, many reasons. And trying to get to know yourself is such a great one, you know? I think that it's so cliche thinking of therapy, reaching out to therapy only when you are upset and at the lowest point of your life. I don't know. Rafael, you said something that I really agree with. Thank you for sharing. So, can we move on to the next one? Or would you like to say something else? Caroline?
No, you can move on.
Great. So, the fourth one. Let's imagine today has been a terrible day and you handed in your notice. Would you continue in the same profession in your next job? Okay, so picturing that you had such a terrible day at your workplace, how would you react, guys? Imagine, I don't know, try to picture the worst day that you have experienced at your workplace. How did you react to it? How did you deal with that? So, as I said before, I've cried a lot at my workplace because I was going through some shitty situations, family dramas at my workplace, and I reached out to my coordinator and I just cried. And I was happy because I was glad because she listened to me. She listened to me, and I don't know, she tried to handle this situation, you know? She didn't cut me off. She listened to me, she tried to advise me, and I was kind of better. But afterwards, I kind of feel ashamed because, God damn it, I cried to my coordinator, but it was fine. She listened to me, as I said, and days moved on. How about you, Rafael? Do you have any experience?
About the question, it's quite hard to answer that, but I think if I quit my job, my currently job, I will change my job in the next, because I don't know, maybe the company, the culture company is not the right for you, but if you change, maybe sometimes it's really interesting change your job, because some people live in a comfort zone, so maybe if you has been if you I don't sorry, if you live in a terrible day in your current job, maybe you'll be interested in change.
Great. So, guys, honestly, to be honest, Regarding this question, I've just Googled what does handed in your notice mean? And what I've found is to tell your employer that you are leaving your job. And there's an example. She's given in her notice and she's going to travel around the world. Okay, so basically, handed in your notice is asking for your boss to leave the job, basically it. Something like that. So thank you for sharing your experiences, Rafael, and we can move on. Okay. Great. How about you, Belgian? What are your thoughts in this question?
Oh, Melissa, if you understood the question, I think in my point of view, not because you have a terrible day, you change your job. It not makes sense for me. For example, I think, of course, you need to find the problem that you had and became better in another opportunity, you know. Of course, if you all the time you not feel good in your job, it's necessary looking for other job, but not for just one day. Of course, like I said before, I think every time, every job you faced at least one terrible day. And because of this, you change your job. Oh, it's totally crazy. That's my point of view. I'm not sure if I'm correct.
So, to my mind, it depends. What kind of terrible day are we talking about? I think that's too personal. Because I mean, how about a harassment? If I was harassed at my workplace, of course I would consider changing jobs, you know? I think there are terrible days and terrible days. So I don't know, maybe my boss was pretty rude and I was kind of offended. Okay, I wouldn't care. But if I was harassed at my workplace, I would be scared to death, you know? Things like that. But thank you, Boding. But as I said, it depending on the day, we just gotta move on, because at the end of the day, we there are people who have no choice, you know? Yes, Rafael, that makes sense. I'm really struggling with this question. I'm not gonna lie, honestly. That makes sense, Rafael. Thank you for sharing. So, Caroline, you can answer, you can replay this question. I don't know.
Okay. I agree with both. I think bad things will happen at their day at work, and it's not a reason to quit your job. But sometimes it's really something really serious, and you need to quit your job. But about change the profession, I think most of the time it's not necessary, because sometimes it's just the place that you work at was awful. The people there, and sometimes you just need to change the place and the company. That happened to me. I work at a place that I really hated, like the people there, my boss, and now I'm in a place that I really like. I really enjoy people, but in the same profession.
So you see, as I said, to my mind, it's too personal. When talking about terrible days, awful days that was too personal. As we just heard Caroline and her terrible experience at her last workplace. So just reinforcing, I think that's too personal. And workplace, working, and mental health, mental matters, they all can come together. So if you're not okay at your workplace, and if you can, change jobs. And was a terrible job, it all comes down to what you think, and comes down to your limits at the workplace. So good sharings, guys. Good sharings. Good sharings. I love that when people disagree, but in a respectful manner, in a respectful way. That's awesome. Okay, we still have time. So guys, if you want to choose a question, please let me know, okay? Moving on, moving on. This one, question 5. What do you think about working 4 days per week? Would you have a better performance? And then, guys, I really do. I really do. I picturing myself, I think I would be, I would feel motivated, I would have time to work on my hobbies and improve, enhancing myself professionally. I would have more time to improve my skills and work. It would be awesome. How about you, Bodin? What are your thoughts on this question?
I'm so sorry. Which question do you ask, Melissa? Sorry. The 5 question. What do you think about working 4 days per week?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we have a good performance. I'm not sure about it. For example, I think if you dedicate yourself to your hobbies, like you said, I think that's amazing when you have time for yourself. And I'm not sure, but of course we have all the aspects to see in this question, for example, because if you work less, maybe you gain less. I'm not sure. But it's necessary to balance your life between job, between your profession, and between your life. I think it's necessary you get some hobbies to enjoy your time with yourself. I don't know.
I haven't seen it that way, like my prophet, how. Anyways, I will start to think about it in that way. How about you, Carolyn? Do you agree with Bodin?
Yeah. I totally do. Like, if I would work just 4 days a week, would be awesome. Because I would have more time to, as you said, to do my hobbies. Like I would have time to study more music, to play video games, watch series, go to the gym. Some things that I really enjoy, and sometimes I don't have so much time to do it. But I would like to earn the same the same money as I work like every single day. It's a point to think about.
That's totally it. But like, I don't know, maybe we could have a second job, Like, I don't know, in Carolyn's case, something music related, instruments related. I don't know. Now I'm starting to think about it. Great. How about you, Rafael? Do you think differently?
For me, 4 days per week is really interesting, but how many hours per day? I don't know. 8 hours per day. So if it's just 8 hours is and 4 days per week, it's really interesting. You have more time to do something like to do hobbies or to visit friends, family, and travel. So Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, we haven't considered the hours. So let's picture that 8 hours per day. That's it. So I'm totally with you guys. Despite, I don't know, I would like, I would invest my time also at my professional skills, you know. Of course, I'd like to work on my hobbies and my health, my physical health and stuff, but I feel like I would like also to work on my professional skills and enhance these kinds of things. Great. What a great option. And if I'm not mistaken, there are countries which has kind of adapted this kind of work, this kind of shift at the work system. I can't name any of these countries, but there are countries which adapted this kind of shift. Great. The sixth question. Question number 6 is pretty interesting. Now we kind of gotta expose ourselves. The sixth question goes, have you ever had your self-esteem affected by toxic people at your workplace? And then, Carolyn, would you like to share anything?
Actually, about my self-esteem, I haven't. When I talk about my other work, people were awful with other people, and of course that affects me because I don't like to see it and can't do anything to change. But I don't have any experience to share about it because I haven't through it before.
So these awful people that you used to work with, that's a hell experience already. So I don't know you guys, but let me see. Sometimes I experience imposter syndrome. Have you ever heard about this one? I kind of feel like that I don't deserve where I've reached I don't deserve my achievements. I don't feel like that I am able to teach English, you know. I have a lot of insecurities when it comes to my profession and my competencies at English. So I'm always comparing myself to others, mainly at my workplace. So I'm always experience this syndrome, you know, and of course my self-esteem like goes downhill, you know. So at my workplace, I have nothing to complain when it comes to people that I work with. That's fine. Oh, fine. How about you, Rafael? Do you have any experience to share?
No, I ever had experience like that. I think I'm a lucky person, but I know there are toxic person or toxic people at work. So, but for with me, I don't remember any situation.
How about feeling like you don't deserve your achievements or you're not able to keep on with your work?
It's really terrible thing to say. I think you can. I think it's really important have a feedback at work, but like you said, not a feedback is is really hard to listen something like that.
I mean, it's not things that you listen, but that you tell to yourself, you know? You start to think, oh my goodness, I don't deserve this work. I'm not capable to keep on my life. It's like your mental health. Does it make sense?
Yeah, you are speaking about self-esteem.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think many. I don't know if I have I don't know if my self-esteem is low, or how can I say in English? Baixo autoestima.
Yeah.
But I don't have this problem. I think I don't have many problems with my self-esteem, so I don't have an opinion.
That's awesome. I'm so glad for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how about you, Bodin? What are your thoughts?
Melissa, in my point of view, I think everybody here is too young, young person, and I'm older here in this group. But in my case, for example, I think when you work for a big company, all the time you face this kind of person. Of course, you need to avoid this kind of situation, but because nowadays it's how can I say, there are a lot of competition, especially in big companies, and all the time you face this kind of person in big companies. It's necessary to control yourself to avoid this kind of person, not to avoid, but to blind yourself, to block yourself about this kind of thoughts, or I don't know. And I think it's necessary working all the time in your self-esteem to be better and to look for a better person. But because the competition in the big companies, all the time we have this kind of person to try to get your position, try to get it. Oh man, it's totally crazy. But I think it's necessary you pay attention and avoid, in my opinion, this kind of person. Okay.
Kind of being resilient. So in a nutshell, we all should look forward to being resilient.
I'm not sure yet.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So I don't
I
have
agree
much.
with you.
Great.
Sorry.
I don't have much to address when it comes to big companies since I don't work at one. But thank you for this kind of advice, piece of advice. So we still have time. That's awesome. Guys, as I said, please, if there's any question that you would like to talk about, let me know. Let me see. Let's move on. Let's jump into the 9th question. Question number 9. I will skip a few ones. The question number 9 goes like, have you ever suffered moral harassment at work? So, I don't know, your boss offended you, has offended you, or situations similar to these ones. And then, Carolyn, have you ever experienced something like that?
I've never, but I have seen people around me being harassment at work. One time, a friend of mine was sexual harassment at work, and that place that I told was awful. That's the reason that I choose to quit and find another job, another place to work. And it was it's not what my experience, but when you are close to people that have been through it, you can feel more or less the feeling, the angry, and it's really awful. I think nobody deserves to go through it. It's something really, really awful.
I can picture, and it's quite impossible not to be empathetic in these kinds of situations. You know, we kind of get these experiences to ourselves. We feel it as well. I'm sorry with you. I'm so sorry for your friend. Actually, I can't even picture something like that. That's terrible. So, how about you, Rafael? Have you ever been harassed, or have you ever witnessed someone? Do you have any story to share?
No, I don't remember any situation. I I really think I'm like a person, but because I am man, maybe we are more. We don't have many problems like a woman's. So I think maybe because this. Don't know. I don't have sure, but I'm like a person.
I mean, I haven't seen many sexual harassments when it comes to men, but I won't take the word and say that it doesn't happen. But I mean, in men's case, there's moral harassment, not only with men, women as well. There's moral harassment. So maybe your boss offended you, you know, curse you, things like that. But you said you haven't experienced. That's awesome. That's great. How about you, Bodenu? Do you have anything to share? Have you ever witnessed something like that?
Melissa, of course, it's a long time. Yeah, I don't remember right now the specific part, but of course, all that, all not always, but how can I say, at least once time in your life you suffer this kind of situation. Of course, for women, for example, like Rafael said, it's I think it's not right, but I in my opinion, the women suffer more with this kind of that's my opinion, okay, with this kind of situation. But if your boss treat your not so good, maybe you try to find another job. I think that's important for you. But in my opinion, suffer moral harassment is not so good at work, in my point of view, even for man or for a woman. Okay.
That's terrible in any of those cases, right?
Yeah.
And indeed, when it comes to sexual harassment, women suffer a lot more. That's worse, I would say, indeed. Great. Thanks for sharing. And once more, I'm so sorry for your friend, Carolyn. I can't even picture experiencing something like that.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's change the vibes here. So let me see. The 10th one. Question number 10. What's your ideal workplace like? And then, Carolyn, what's your ideal workplace like?
I think my current workplace is a place very cool with good people. We have place to chill out, like we can play video games or
Whoops, you're muted. Carolyn, you're muted.
Sorry. I told my current place because there are a lot of cool people there. There are places there we can chill out, we can watch TV or play video games, play acoustic guitar. It's really cool because sometimes you are kind of stressful about work, and you can just go there and chill out. And I like this kind of place. I think it's good to motivate people when you feel good at work.
God damn it, how cool is that? How humanized is your workplace? That's awesome. That's awesome. Mainly
Yeah, it is.
because of your previous experience.
Yeah, of course.
Great, great. How about you, Rafael? Is your workplace any similar to Karen's one?
My ideal workplace is outside. I mean, working around the world. I don't like stay at in just in the same place every day. I like to travel, working at the traveling, and I think about the mainly a freedom environment is really important to me.
Great, awesome. How cool is that? That's why you want to be a flight attendant, right? Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. How about you, Valdini? Are you happy at your current workplace?
Yes, Rafael, do you work as a flight attendant?
No, I'm studying for it. I'm just
Okay, yeah.
doing the course right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice, man. But of course, you have you faced other problems because I've been flying for almost 30 years, you know, in airline company for 11 years. Of course, we work in no routine time, of course, but right now, for example, I'm staying here in Recife and I have no time to go to the beach, you know. And that depends on the situation, of course. Maybe when you travel to other country, like for example, I went to the United States, but you work in the United States, you know, man. No, you know, travel for just to enjoy your time there. Of course, if you balance, you have some time to dedicate yourself or to enjoy the time in the place. But in my case, for example, that's back to the course. That's back to the question. In my case, for example, I like a lot about my job because I work in no routine time and I can travel and I can enjoy other places. I learn with other people's other cultures. That's amazing. That's amazing part for our job. And I really desire that you reach your goals, Rafael. That's nice. That's it, Melissa. Sorry.
Great. No problem. So how do you feel about that, Rafael? Well, then you just shared some experience of him of, yeah. So how do you feel about that? Are you excited to become a flight attendant?
I'm very excited. I know I get it. Like what you him said. You're not traveling. You work and traveling. It's not the same thing. But I think I maybe because I'm improving my English, so I can most of time I can say the same thing in Portuguese. But I think I'm really decided about my job.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's awesome. Great. Good to know. And that's it in tea. A lot of sharings. Guys, we've run out of time. It's midday right now, and there's an upcoming meeting. I'm so happy that you made it to the end. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next meeting. I hope it was a great conversation. And I dropped a link here in the chat. And please go over YouTube and rate this meeting. Thank you once more, guys, for being here. Bye.
Okay, thank
See
you.
you next meeting.
Bye, guys.
Bye, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks so